You're my big brother, you bailed on me.
I was a 16-year-old kid, what the hell did I know?
From the director of Miracle,
there's this big tournament. I'm gonna need a trainer.
What began as an incredible challenge,
I got a family to protect. Everything I do is for them.
became one family's impossible journey.
The two men fighting for the championship tonight are brothers.
On September 9th,
You can do this. Whatever you say it, I can do this.
chase your dreams. Warrior, rated PG-13, in theaters September 9th.
So I watched this movie called Warrior recently, and this movie is something else. This film will make you into a man, which I'll elaborate on now. Trials and tribulations are a common part in the day-to-day lives of everyone, with each individual facing and reacting to them in their own ways. Warrior is an American sport action film directed by Gavin O'Connor, starring Tom Hardy, Joe Edgerton, Nick Nolte, and Frank Grillo, and in essence is a family drama coated in over a mixed martial arts story. In short, the narrative follows three different perspectives within a family dynamic, all on their own pathways of life. Two main sibling leads on completely different walks, their storylines intertwined with the crossroads having both of them entering an MMA tournament gauntlet, winning a multi-million cash pool prize, be it for their own personal reasons. With the father of the boys as the third character piece, alluded to being a great martial arts trainer and practitioner who would sadly scar the kids due to constant years of alcohol and abuse dividing the family. In short, Warrior pretty much depicts the themes of family, redemption, sacrifice, and responsibility. A broken family struggling to mold itself back together again. Tommy, the younger brother who clearly holds a strong grudge and resentment for his family for pretty much abandoning him when he was younger. In addition to him being a war veteran, having a blurred out and mysterious past, which the movie at the time refused to show the audience. But you can tell the suffering continued further into his adult life as well. He's clearly a kettle steaming with anger and rage, which can clearly be reflected on his fighting style. Then there's the older brother Brendan, probably achieving the best of his own future, dropping his fighting life as a youth, getting married, has kids, and happily works as a high school science teacher. He follows more of the archetype of an underdog character in these type of movies. A mic drop hits him and he's put into financial burden where his house is going to be taken by the bank, and he and his wife are in no way close to paying them off. Even with his teaching job, it's not enough, and so he has to get back into joining the underground tree fighting shows just to make ends meet, even though he is risking his own body in the process. He's the more level-headed brother, again paralleling his fighting style, being more cautious and calculated in the ring. And finally, Nick Nolte, trying to repair the relationship he had and struggling to redeem himself for his mismanaged parenthood, but he just keeps getting shut down from both sides. To be fair, the backstory is covered very subtly, but it's due to the acting, and oh my god, the acting by all these guys on screen really make you feel the weight of each and every scene that they are in. Like the chemistry between all the actors, they legit feel like siblings. It's masterfully done, and it feels very, very real. You wouldn't think Tom Hardy and Joe Edgerton are not brothers.
So you won't forgive me, but you forgave Pop.
No, he's just some old vet that I train with. He means nothing to me. And what I hear, he means nothing to you either.
The mixed martial art tournament Sparta is the main catalyst to push the plot forward. It's obvious that both brothers are going to clash in the final, we know this, but this is the first time I've seen a sports story where we are pretty much rooting for both sides, we sympathize with both sides, and when we get there, it's not that we want either of them to win, but we don't want either of them to lose. Your back is against the wall and there's nothing we can do. Most of the fight sequences are this gradual ticking time bomb of constant build up of physicality and desperation from both brothers, but when Tommy and Brendan meet, it's just all raw emotion. Specifically in its final few minutes, there's nothing that we can do but just stare and soak it in, which mainly will be Mantiz at the end of it. All the characters are broken from all perspectives and continuing to soldier on, whether that be self-destruction for their bodies or mental state. Even when they are trying to be better people, they've never been taught how to act upon that, so you get these really hard to watch interactions, and it's something I find very, very eye-opening and masterfully crafted from both screenwriters, directors, and actors. This movie is like an onion, I swear. You can keep peeling the layers of both Tommy, Brendan, and Nick Nolte. The movie itself is split into two acts. The first act is pretty much build up and setting up the premise. We get a chance to grow with the characters on screen, and the second act is the bulk of the fighting sequences, where no sport movie to this day has had to be on the edge of my seat cheering as if this movie is not a piece of fiction at all. And this is the first for me. I love how the filmmakers decided to split the tournament up into two nights instead of one, again kind of breaking the conventions of a typical fighting sports movie and giving this nice little breather for both audiences and to prep themselves for one last ride before we get into the final with even more character deconstruction. It's funny as well because at the time of this movie's release, Tom Hardy and Joe Edgerton were not really household names films. At the time, Tom Hardy was known as that one cool charming guy from Inception, and Joel Edgerton as Uncle Owen from Star Wars. These guys have had a major transformation in preparation for this film, and yes, my goal is to look like these guys sometime in the near future. I am both inspired and envious by Tom Hardy's physique, goddammit. The final seconds of the climax of this movie are one of the best things I've come out watching. It is perfect, and I mean that in the best way, because I absolutely hate it just because I want a sequel. The way it is ended, it's very, like, it's kind of open-ended in a way, where you can kind of interpret what you want as an audience member. But I think having it as an open-ended story from a storytelling perspective is the best way to go. Despite whoever the winner is, I won't say just because I think if you haven't seen the movie yet, it is worth a watch. You're doing yourself a disservice if you haven't. It is peak cinema. You legit want to cheer and cry at the same time. And I'm shocked how underrated this film is. Warrior honestly is one of the best films I've ever seen. If I were to make a top 20, top 15 movies of all time, it's making this list. Bro, you emotionally mature yourself when you walk out of the theatre walking out of this film. Eye-opening and inspiring. You see these guys putting their bodies on the line, risking their career, risking their like personal privacy just to make it happen. Martial arts and like fighting movies specifically, you have like this really like this fire that burns within you of like inspiration, masculinity. I don't know, does anyone else get that when they watch movies like this? For this film, the bar has been set as a man. Do not go below it. And also a shout out to Frank Grillo's character as the coach for Brendan. Oh my god, he is so cool and inspiring. I love his use of using Beethoven's symphony as pretty much the workout track for his fighters. It's such a unique juxtaposition, especially in a fighting story. You could say it's kind of like paralleling the calm and collected aura and mindset of Brendan. Also, Gorilla dropping one of the most hardest and coldest inspiring quotes as a ringman.
I said, we'll go home. We'll go home, okay? You don't knock him out, you lose the fight. Do you understand me? You don't knock him out, you don't have a home.
But yeah, that was my review on Warrior. What do you guys think? If you've seen the movie, please let me know down below. If you haven't watched it, go watch it, because it is, oh, it's so good, man. It's so good. I want to go gym and train now. That's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, and I shall see you guys next time. Peace.